we would not be in this modern landscape of this plant if it wasn't for the land races. So I'm excited about this one, boys. We've never talked about this before.
When you think about the new generation of consumers, probably have no fucking clue what a landrace is, what it does, and how the genetics came to be. Like where these new genetics, these are the great grandparents in a lot of cases. And I think explaining the lineage more of what you're consuming will give you the knowledge of why you're consuming it. And I'm in the point now where like, if I don't know what I'm consuming, just the name of it, I'm like, what are the grandparents? Like, what are the parents? That's how I want to consume, because I'll know the terpene expression more in that sense. If someone's telling me there's a haze in it, it might be too lethargic for me. It might be something I don't want, but I don't know until I get through and know what the landrace is. Usually, like that lineage. Yeah, let's dive into it, boys.
I'm ready. Now,
Chris, you put together a list so we're not just talking on some dumb, which is beautiful.
Yeah, got the list here to make sure. There's so many land races.
I would used to just say like 5. Literally.
And you think about it, like from all over the world too, from South America to Pakistan, in the Middle East, like the Hindu Kush Mountains, which I think is crazy.
I'm so dumb that I did not realize. I was like, dudes, did you know the Hindu Kush Mountains are everything? They mostly named it from the bud. It's like, no, this is where it originated from. Now it all makes sense.
Yeah. And Thai, like from Thailand, like we've got all over the world.
Yeah.
And coming together. And you know what? I think a lot of people too still kind of conflate the concept of land races with today's hybrids. And I think we'll get into it more, but I like the idea that we can start from the beginning and kind of break into some of these genetics that have led the way to today's glories. So
yeah, maybe we start off with the definition. I actually looked that up too. Let's get the official definition via Google.
No opinion. This is real. Google knows everything.
A land race is a naturally occurring, genetically stable variety that has adapted to a specific region over long periods without significant human intervention or hybridization.
Yeah, and that's what I think people get tripped up on. Is they're like, well, what are the parents of that? Like, what? We don't have that information. We don't know how it came to be, man. It just, the natural acclimation to the environment created some of these conditions.
Mm-hmm.
You look at like Afghani, for example, that's known for high resinous production. And resin oftentimes is a defensive mechanism for the plant. So depending on the conditions it's put through, it's going to evolve to thrive in these areas. So that's where you'll see some stuff that are dumpers. Things down all the way work down to a GMO now. People will have GMO in anything that yields really well for resin, or for rosin, it seems. Somewhere in the lineage, there'll be a GMO. If you look back even further, you'll find that it's connected to another genetic, which is usually a landrace. And then you'll find out why it has these characteristics. Look at the environment of the region it comes from. You're like, and some stuff from Russia handles the colder environments that are from like mountainous regions that are the indicas.
Serbia,
yeah. So it's like things that I feel looking into, again, Afghani, prime example, that's a warm, dry region, and it's going to be somewhere the climate doesn't favor our plant. So to have something thrive there is nuts. So then that, let's say, being bred into something that's out here in Nevada, that you'd literally be like, well, shit, I want something that's going to have the same original grandparents that went through the desert, like me here, Like Pakistan for you, that it was a prime example. It was Pakistan Valley.
That's,
Yeah, that's a prime example of something where it's like, oh, that region.
a little hardier to resistant to heat.
Yeah, you'd be able to have that acclimate into another region that has similar traits, or something from the Mediterranean area, then going in like Colombia, like those, or original Colombian gold.
Mm-hmm.
These are ones that I think made people now, if they knew about the lineage, they'd use this for breeding projects, intentional strategic breeding, instead of just permanent markers hot right now. This other one's hot. Let's make them breed,
Yep. Good conversation.
That's it. Shout out, end of the episode.
One thing I wanted to kind of like allude to is like the concept of like, I can't stand walking into a dispensary these days because it's still, what are you looking for? Sativa, indica, THC, and it's just like, it's like nails on a chalkboard when I hear somebody say that, because it's like, I'm a strong believer that the concept of indica and sativa has been bred out of the majority of genetics of today. So to refer to a sativa as something that's going to be a little more euphoric, something that's going to be a little more for me motivating, I guess is a good way to put it. You could get that same kind of feeling, that same kind of effect from an indica. And so it's like today, everything's been so blended and so hybridized that you don't have an indica or sativa anymore. You really don't. I think you might find it in the growth characteristics.
Yeah, botanical. Yes. We've kind of talked about that before. The botanical side is all indica and sativa is. And I think when you did have these old land races, the terpene profile was so specific to this region that it had those effects of lethargic or, like, again, Afghani being hashy. It has that flavor that just like earthy, soil, old school kind of funk. And I think that's where, knowing where it comes from, you get the idea of that. Or like something sweet wouldn't be in such a harsh climate. You know what I'm saying? The plant's going to react like a lizard would. One's like a chameleon that'll change its appearance to basically blend in where it's at. I think, again, I keep saying Afghani because I was working on a video of that. Like that having like blueberry being the descendant, or why am I stuck? I had some Northern Lights, the one like you grew. Those then become a breeding stable for other ones. They're like, these are, I'm going to take the original land race, put that with something else, and now this is my new starting point. Some of these land races are 12 weekers, 13 weekers. They're not doable to most of us home growers these days. Durban Poison, good 11, 12 weeks if you really want to knock it out of the park. Have you guys ever had the pleasure of growing a land, like a straight up land race, and seen the difference? I mean, I guess, yeah, you with the...
Yeah, I've grown Pakistan Valley, which is land race out of Hindu Kush region. And that one I really loved. My roommate actually introduced me to that one, and he wanted it because of its narcotic effects. And it really makes you sleepy. And that's one thing I loved about it so much, is that I could smoke some of that, literally lay down in bed, and then fall asleep like that. It was so easy to fall asleep. And so, but yeah, I grew that out, and it was beautiful, beautiful plant, real small, right? It stays squat. It's 100% indica. And so it stays squat, real tight internodes. I only really had to top it once, and then that's it. You know, and it had all these other plants around it that were outgrowing it, just because, you know, that's just the structure and the genetics. It just stays small. And with that one in particular, usually land race you hear about being longer flowering times. This one in particular is a shorter flowering time. It's only 45 to 55 days flowering time. So it's freaking awesome. Yeah. So a couple of things I really like about it were those things. Now there are several land races out of that same region, right? I got the cheat sheet here, the Hindu Kush. So that one is out of the same exact region. It says known for heavy resin production, earthy aromas, and deeply sedating effects. So very similar, out of the same region.
It's like the region forces it to have these effects, again, because the plant's defense system. Like, that's the crazy part. The cannabinoids, the things we like the most is the plant trying to survive half the time and thrive. And I think those harsher regions, it just shows, is how they'll call it that, can thrive if put in the right environment. Now everything's so watered down. I wonder if you could take, you know, something that's been bred 50 times and put it out there in these regions and it would survive. It'd probably take generations.
Probably not.
It'd have to repopulate itself, have to male and female plants there, let them naturally breed and just throw off more seeds and just continue on its own. Because it's got to be, this is total bro science, that's got to be how these land races have maintained. No one's going out there and cloning these damn plants way back then, 1,000 years ago, and like for Thai plant, there's not a person likely going out there cloning it and replicating it. It's the seeds falling off. So they're letting them interbreed and they're creating their own unique profile. Like they're, again, humans, prime example, we evolve over time based on our environment and having to run, our feet are different, our backs move different, like our hands, our teeth for eating meat and vegetables. I think the same thing with plants. We don't give plants now 1,000 years to develop. Mm-hmm. Most people are 6 months, if that, and they got new freaking genetics on the market. I think that's the difference now. We're losing touch because we have to keep up with the Joneses. Nobody wants to spend 10 years on one strain. The hype is done on that.
This FTS clip was brought to you by AC Infinity, leaders in garden innovation. Use discount code TheStash15 at checkout to save some money on your order.
From the Stash Podcast.